All right, folks, let's continue from where we left yesterday itself. Now, I was talking about how Bitcoin will simply just go to the upside without any stop once we start clearing these levels of sell side liquidity, guys. As this had a lot of relevance going on, the $34,500 levels on BTC itself. Now we just closed a 4-hour candle. I guess we did close a 12-hour candle as well right after the video itself. And guys, you can see the follow through, the immediate follow through, confirming this one as a support, and that follow through went took the price action all the way towards this high, invalidating this last area of down leg, guys. So what are my initial thoughts on this kind of price action right here? We are formulating something new, guys. We could be formulating something new. Now, refer to the video which I posted yesterday about the open interest data, right? Now, you could potentially be looking at a change of behavior going on in terms of the open interest itself, guys. Once we start taking out this high right here, which could or could not happen today, guys, as we don't have that stringent directional bias for today's price action itself. Now, yesterday we did have those things going on, but today we just don't have that exact directional movement going on for most of the crypto assets, guys, because Bitcoin is probably going to be sideways today, right, until we clear some areas. But now, if we start taking this high to the upside, that would mean that the guys' open interest was mostly towards long position taking in place in the market from these levels of liquidity, guys. Now, we could be looking at that thing happening and that thing coming to fruition. Now, would that mean that, hey, we're going to go for a reversal and Bitcoin is going to go to 60,000 and beyond? No, guys, no. It's going to happen step by step. We're going to, once we start clearing these levels, guys, you know the drill. I'm going to stick by what I was talking about yesterday itself. Once we start taking this high, I mean, look, the move could start triggering once we start taking this high right here, and I don't think we're going to be stopping all the way until 618 retest, guys, the gap, the CME gap standing at $50,000 levels for Bitcoin, and ultimately decide for ourselves what is going to come next for crypto market itself. Now, there is another situation right here, guys. You can see a huge triangle formulating off the bottom right here. Now, essentially, that does not mean that we're just going to be squeezing off of this and break into the upside, and we're just going to have that moon boy party going on. No, guys, I think in the first and the foremost pass, we can come onto these levels and trap some liquidity and go down back again. To be honest with you, we are still in a range bound situation, guys. We do have to be conservative. If we are trading these markets every single day, if we are participating in these markets every single day, you have to be conservative, specifically if we are going to be in this range, guys. Once we start going beyond this one, yes, your directional bias, your directional trade to the upside all the way towards $50,000 Bitcoin will be a good trade. To be honest with you, that could come into reality, right? Now, why do I say we don't have a directional bias going on today, guys? The RSI is, well, it's getting into that shit and piss zone. I mean, look, this is not nice. Essentially, how do I trade these markets? I look at the RSI having a uptrend, a clear uptrend, and then if I would want to go long, if I would have a bullish bias, yes, I would just simply go ahead and take the positions. And guys, this one was a good confluence going on with the RSI itself. We were looking at RSI going above 60. Now, if you've been watching the content coming from this channel, you know the fact that how I keep on talking about RSI being above 60 is one of your key indicators, guys. This is all right. This is one plain blank edge that I'm just giving away for free. And if you are patient enough to identify these areas, whenever you shoot above 60 with your structure looking good, yes, you are in for a 5% treat at least, guys. At least. Now, this one being 6% to the upside, but certainly you go for these kind of treats. Now, something like that happened as well right here. Once we started going above 60, guys, we had a little upswing of 5%, right? Now, this is how you trade these squeezes. This is how you trade the ranges. Certainly not how you trade a swing position. This is not how you trade a swing position. Had you been wanting to go for a swing position, you would have longed BTC onto this entire region, guys, and the risk tolerance for that trade would be huge. It has to be big. If you are looking, guys, all right, now if the time frame expands, if the time frame extends, your risk management and your risk tolerance will also extend. Now, these things just go together, guys. These things will go together, right? If you want to go for a Bitcoin swing long position, and if you want to target 50k, and if shit does not go your way, you have to manage your risk below this point right here, guys. This is the clear-cut risk management area which I see right here. And if we want to continue to the upside, we do not, first of all, we don't want to get back into this region of shit and piss, guys. We don't want to get below $34,500 levels back again. Once we do that, yes, you're going to be squeezing back again, and it's going to be completely directionless piece of price action for Bitcoin itself. Now, essentially, what would I want to see for today's piece of price action? Now, by the time this video gets uploaded, most likely these things could happen, but guys, now the first and the foremost retest is happening right now. I'm talking about this entire wave to the upside, and the first and the foremost retest is happening as of now, aligning with the 1 hour 21 simple. Now I do expect initial bounce coming from this level, but until we are grinding below this now, guys, I'm getting into really small squeezes, really small time frames price action. But until we are squeezing below this entire grind line, most likely we will come back down all the way towards 6-minute extension, standing in at 35,000 flat. Right now, once we start going below $35,000 levels, guys, the directional bias could emerge back again to the downside, and that would look, well, that would look something like this, right? I mean, we had a little bias going on to the upside, and we were bouncing off of this trend line again and again, which is why, guys, this trend line right here could be relevant in the coming times, right? Now, we could just simply negate this structure. I do think we can still go sideways right here, but if we start closing below the 7-minute extension out of this entire leg to the upside, yes, you're clear cut down move is going to come towards $35,000 coming in today itself. Now, until then, guys, the 4-hour is still looking fine. The 4-hour time frame, the higher time frames are looking completely fine, and the 21 simple has started sloping to the upside as well. So you can see right here the interplay between the higher time frames and small time frames. Now, most of the action could start emerging from the hourly time frame, guys, and since we are in a very squeeze range bound situation on Bitcoin itself, I think these small time frames, they do play a role, guys. They are important. Your small time frames are certainly not important when you are dealing with the macro situation, or when you're dealing with the macro trending behavior to the upside. Whereas, guys, if you just talk about this entire price action structure right here, you can see the relevance of the 4-hour time frame and even the hourly time frame, because these small time frames, they will eventually make the price action formulate a bottom or a base onto any key level, and that is where you can decide for yourself whether the price action is strengthful coming off of the lows. And guys, these things happen in the small time frames, which is why whenever you are squeezing in terms of the volatility, in terms of the price action behavior itself, your small time frames are going to be significant. Now, essentially, that does not mean that you're going to be trading off of these small time frames, guys. It's very difficult. It's not an easy task to trade the small time frames, to be honest with you. It's not that easy. But guys, now essentially what I do now, okay, let's talk about a little scalp, right, in the market. Now, essentially, guys, how I would trade these markets in scalp trading. Now, I will post a lot of videos for scalp trades. Hopefully, I don't get into any trouble down the line. But guys, the only reason why I don't post my live trading activities on YouTube is the fact that, guys, look, a lot of people who are under any sort of jurisdiction which is kind of strict, they do get trapped. All right, now this just calls for a trouble, which is why I just don't want to just go ahead for all of these live trading sessions, guys. A lot of YouTubers that I know have gotten into trouble coming from India itself, guys. They've been labeled as scammers. Holy shit, I mean, let's not get there. But guys, this is the reason why I don't like to post my live trading session or something like that. But essentially how I'm trading this is, guys, I just wait for these kind of situations to formulate either to the downside or to the upside, right? Or to the upside as well. Similarly, right here to the upside, you had this grind formulating for a very long time. After you broke to the upside, this is all visible in the minute time frame, guys. And on the minute time frame, you don't aim for 5-10% move. You just aim for a little bit below a percent, guys, below a percent, right? And when you are 110% certain, it doesn't matter what your margin is. When you know what your where your invalidation stands in at, when the action is actually going on, that is the only thing which is relevant, guys, according to me. If you are scalping in the small time frames, that is what goes on, right? Now, this one being a small scalp that I took, well, I took and I got off right here at the bottom side of this one. And guys, it was, well, it was a small time frame, and I had my little invalidation going on this entire region right here, right? And as soon as we started started breaking down below this one right here, guys, yes, I was confident about that trade being a success, most likely. Now, anything can go down to shit as well. This is why you have to have that 50% mindset, and I'm happy to share the insights as a trader as well with all of you. And essentially, when you know what you're doing in the market, yes, these things will work out. And over the long time frame, guys, specifically, you have to be now, I do want to put a lot of how do I say, a lot of pressure into this one single point right here, when you know how to cut your greed even in the small time frames, and you know when to stay the fuck away from these price actions, everything is gonna go good, right? Trading is not a rocket science. You go for these high probability trade playouts even in the small time frames, and guys, essentially you don't have to worry about, let's just say, a lot of other things, a lot of noise, right? When you know where the directional bias is at, even 1% move can help you capitalize on a lot of things, right? Now I don't mean to say that you just simply trade the 100x leverage in 1 minute time frame. That is completely utter fucking stupidity, guys. That's complete stupidity. You can get your entire account blown out in one single percent up move. I mean, that's completely fucking crazy, right? You should know in every single action, you should know in every single click that you're making in this market, what is your downside, what is potentially the exact point where your shit can go down, right? Well, when you know that, yes, you can play these things in the small time frames. But guys, this is not the point of this video. I was just trying to give a little insight as to how to trade these small scalpy scalp price action ranges, right? Now, the only thing which is going to hold this price action down is this support line coming in today itself. Once we start losing the 786 extension, guys, I think it's going to be, yep, I think we're going to come back down to 618 extension and then attempt a bounce, let's just say by the start of the next day's candle, right? Now, guys, now we have been squeezing in deep into the small time frames, which is why I just want to take a little bit of breath from this piece of price action analysis and just jump on the daily time frame and see what the bigger picture is looking like. Now, yesterday's daily closure was good, guys. This was good, right? If I just simply get rid of everything right here, yes, this was good. I mean, if you just invert the chart as well, you have potentially a lot of rejections coming in from the top itself, which is why, guys, sometimes it's essential to just flip the entire visuals that you're looking at, and your entire thesis and your entire analysis could be better, guys. Could be better if you just invert, if you keep on inverting, if you keep on looking at these price action from different angles. Yes, it's gonna help you out. Yes, it's gonna help you, let's just say, spend more time in the market. And guys, remember, if you spend more and more time in these markets, trading these assets up and down, and building yourself as a trader, you'll get that instinct. You will know how to react to these you'll know how to react to these down moves and these up moves as well, and you will know what to do when the shit does not go your way, guys. When you're completely in the market without any plan, and you're just gambling away the money, you're just longing and shorting every single day, yes, your shit will go down the hole every single time. You got to have an objective, got to have a plan, and these things, well, they come by experience, they come by spending more and more time in the market, guys. Essentially, if you are new to the market, if you're new as a trader as well, do not fucking risk anything, man. Holy shit, just go for demo trading accounts, just practice over there. Don't risk any real money. Risk any real money, guys. All right. Now here's an activity. Take 10 trades for one whole week, right? All right, now this timeline has to be 3 weeks long, but just for that matter, trade 10. All right, make 10 trades for every single day for 7 days in a row, right? In a demo account, in a practice account. If your hit rate per day is above 60%, basically, if you are going for correct trades 6 times out of your 10 trades, yes, after the end of the week, you can start risking some real money in the market. But I guess most of you are not doing that. Most of you are not going to do that. Most of you are anyway going to hit that buy and sell button. Guys, we got to just look. I can relate to that. I can completely relate to that because I was doing that kind of stupidity, and I had nowhere to shout on top of my stupidity to tell me that cut that fucking shit. Practice in the market before jumping onto these assets with your real money, guys. Which is why at least the best I can do is I can just share my experience with you guys. You can make your own decision. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your own money, right? Which is why, guys, I feel that this should be it. I mean, we don't have much to talk about Bitcoin right here, as this is looking fine on the daily time frame itself. But here comes, guys, the only bias which is keeping this entire trend to the downside is the 21 simple moving average itself. So, guys, even if you're squeezing deep into the small time frames and looking at hourly time frames, essentially just take a look at this area as well and watch for a potential daily closure happening above $38,000 of Bitcoin. Once that happens, guys, the next day is going to be again critical. And once you start seeing opening and closing behavior on the price action above the 21 simple itself, guys, then we can talk about potential swing trade going to the upside all the way towards $50,000 levels. Until then, we're just going to squeeze, and until then, the higher probability stays towards the downside, guys. guys. It's just that. Now if you're looking at these markets as traders, and if you're participating in the market every single day, guys, certainly the price action is bearish, right? The bias has to be bearish in terms of trading these assets, because the price action is bearish, the macro is bearish, everything is bearish. Whereas had you been trading these ranges on these levels, guys, the macro was bullish, the bias had to be bullish, right? So a lot of different things going on. I don't want to confuse you guys right here, so maybe I'll not talk about this anymore, right? Okay, guys, now pretty clear from the levels right here, and the small term analysis is pretty clear as well. Now let's jump on to something interesting, guys. This is going on, right? This is going on ETH BTC. We are breaking the grind. I mean, look, we did retest this level right here. I mean, this was a deep retracement out of this entire down wave, guys. We did come all the way towards the 786 retracement and kind of topped out, guys. Ethereum did top out on these levels. ETH BTC did top out on these levels, which is why the Bitcoin dominance is going to the upside. Which is why, guys, look at Bitcoin. If you're trading any crypto asset against fiat, against USDT itself, look at Bitcoin. That is going to be your main directional bias decider, guys. If Bitcoin is going to the downside, these altcoins will have double the magnitude if they go to the downside as well. Now ETH BTC is rejecting some key levels, and it is breaking down off a squeeze, guys. This falling pizza has its cheese leaking down, and most likely it's going to formulate a base alongside the 6.6 million satoshis. But guys, ultimately the trend has started emerging to the downside, which is why, guys, let's jump on to the BTC.D. Bitcoin dominance. What is the dominance going? Yes, the dominance is trying to formulate a base right here, guys. We could be looking at a little upswing going on the Bitcoin dominance itself, which is why the market henceforth is going to be Bitcoin dominant, guys. Market is going to be Bitcoin dominant. You have to look at whatever the heck Bitcoin is doing, and specifically if you are trading these altcoins against USD pair, only pick your directional bias according to the Bitcoin's price action, guys. It's as simple as that, right? All right, now one interesting thing, if I just simply flip this entire piece of price action right here, guys, this is exactly Ethereum, right? This is Ethereum's price action. This is ETH BTC. You had a deep retracement going on all the way towards 76, and you're reversing from these levels, breaking a grind, breaking a good wedge, good neat looking wedge right here, guys. This was a clear cut trade, which is why a lot of people were sitting on ETH BTC right here to sell the fuck out of that asset. And guys, we are down a lot. ETH BTC back again real quick. I didn't calculate the amount of down move that we had. Okay, now this is inverted back again, but yep, you had a 10% downswing. And guys, these high probability trades are something that a lot of people wait for patiently. And guys, look, essentially if you just go for a 10% return out of the entire equity in 1 month, that's it, guys. You have to just sit aside. I mean, you have to fuck off from the market for the rest of the month, right? Now, most of us are like, if you don't do anything today, if you don't participate in the market today, it's not going to be a good thing, guys. No, essentially, this is what you got to control. This is something that you have to build as a trader. You have to build the patience factor going on in your head. If you're impatient, if you want to just participate in the market every single day, despite of not having an edge, despite of not having a setup which could potentially play out, but you still want to just jump into the market just for the sake of it, it's not going to work out. These things are something which you have to stay away from. This is not the right mindset, guys. 90% of trading is waiting for these setups to come into fruition, guys, and develop your own edge. Now, I'm hinting onto a lot of edges, guys. One of my favorite edge is the 10-minute time frame, the 10-minute and the 200 moving average. Yet another edge which I'm just like, all right, why not? I mean, crypto community deserves that. Now, guys, the 10-minute 200 simple is one of your good directional decider, right? Good directional bias decider. As you can see, when this downtrend started emerging, the last rejection came up from the 10-minute 200 moving average, 200 simple moving average on the 10-minute time frame, and we've been continuing down, right? Now, this happens on BTC as well, guys. Now, this moving average plays out again and again on Bitcoin itself. Now, most likely what you will see is that the prices do come down to 200, and they will have a bounce in the first and the foremost pass, guys. Check this out. I mean, every single time you do have a relevancy going on alongside the 200 simple moving average. Well, all right, not every single time, but yes, you do have a probability. You do have a good probability play out alongside the 200 simple moving average itself. Sometimes it's just good to have a clear directional bias, even in the intraday time frame, guys. And I do feel whenever Bitcoin is in a trending motion, whenever Bitcoin essentially breaks out of a range, it gets supported by the 200 simple on the 10-minute time frame, guys. As you can see, this entire down leg was happening with the 200 simple on the 200 on the 10-minute time frame itself, guys, all these sellouts were coming in from this moving average. Basically, this is how do I say? This is just a general bias. This is general intraday bias. Now, essentially, that does not mean that you trade off of this moving average again and again. What you can do is you can figure out your own edge, that how you feel comfortable in the market trading these assets, and you can just you can have this piece of puzzle as your information, the information that you try to gather before getting into a trade. This can be your information, guys. In the intraday, this is more or less your super trend, right? If this is inclined to the downside, most likely your bounces are going to be sell. Bounces are going to be sell if it is inclined to the downside. Whereas if you are inclined to the upside, your retests are going to be bounce, guys, every single time, right? Which is why most likely this trend happens alongside the 200 simple itself. We can certainly violate this one. Now, I don't mean that we will simply exactly bounce from this level. No, guys, the directional bias, the entire picture will revolve around the slope of this moving average itself, which is something which could happen. Holy shit, 20 minutes into this video. Shit, guys, I thought I'm gonna just make this video extremely precise, but it's kind of fun to share these insights with all of you guys, I guess, right? All right, now what do we have next? We have fucking MATIC perpetual contracts for you guys, and well, it's still going on, guys. The trade is still going on, right? I mean, this is the exact area where the short position was started on MATIC against the USDT, coming in from $2 exact, guys, $2 spot, and your risk management was above this point right here, and it still is above that point, guys. I think these are one of your trades. These are one of these trades where you just have to take the position and let the thing go on itself, right? And this is exactly what is happening, guys. The trend has changed. The macro bearish situation has emerged. So cut your fucking emotions and look at these markets objectively, which is why I simply went for a swing shot right around these levels, and I did post that as well on the Discord community, guys, on the Discord channel on crypto analysis itself. And well, I was happy to share that, and anybody who took that trade is still in the trade and is up 27%, right? Now this is good. This is a good looking piece of price action continues to the downside. Now, guys, just ignore this. Fucking ignore this, right? Now, these things can be drawn in any way, guys. These are complete stupidity. You can fucking do anything with these things, which is why don't draw these lines and trade according to a moldable or foldable fucking trend line that you create for yourself. These are hypothetical situations, and essentially what traders do is that they just mold and fold a line according to their own bias, and that trade goes to shit, guys. Just complete blatant form of stupidity. Whichever line is being molded and folded into several ways is something that you got to stay away from as a trader, guys, as a trader. Now, this is pretty much a counseling session, right? This is pretty much a counseling session for all of the people who are new in the space and all of the people who are trying to trade these fucking crypto assets, guys. Look, one more thing, these markets are crazy volatile, and guys, the 90% of the price action behavior happens according to the emotions, guys, happens according to the market participants' emotions. And add the supply shock to that factor, guys. Supply shock means crypto assets are limited, right? Add the supply shock to that, holy shit, you get these kind of movements, guys. These are crazy, right? So don't play these markets with everything that you got. No, guys, no. Holy shit, man, I can't believe I'm saying this thing for the 1000th time in this channel right here, but I think this should be fed into your head by default right now. The only amount of money that you can particularly risk in this market is maybe 10% of your investment portfolio, guys. This is all you need to have if you want to trade these markets. Whereas your holdings portfolio is going to be completely different, guys. That's going to be a completely different topic. I'll talk about that thing in the weekend pep talks coming in Saturday for you guys, right? Where probably this screen would be huge, would be humongous, covering most of the screen estate itself. All right, guys. Now, MATIC is a continuation trend right here, and well, the risk management, the trailing stop loss, to be honest with you, now is going to be standing on these levels, right? This is where your trailing stop loss is going to happen. Now, essentially, that does not mean that you just get the fuck out of the position even if you wake above these price points. No, guys. What I would want to see is a 4-hour closing basis and this 21 simple moving average curling to the upside. That is when I would essentially consider getting rid of that short position itself, right? But we can just simply wick below this entire area as well. But that does not mean that the trend is going to reverse from these levels. It's just going to mean that well, you did have a lot of trapped liquidity, which was just squeezed out, right? Was a simple short squeeze, right? Now, essentially, what I'm looking at right here is this could be another continuation downswing, guys, on MATIC itself. Now, the price action is bearish, which is why I would just take bearish trade for MATIC itself. But am I a fundamental bear or MATIC? No, guys, no. I completely love MATIC. I just, whatever this team is trying to do, I simply love them, right? But remember, you are a fucking goddamn trader, which is why these price action movements and your emotions are completely different things. I trade the price action, guys. I simply like to trade the price action, which is probably why if I just collect a lot of stable coins by the price comes down, I will buy more MATIC. I'm a macro bull on MATIC, guys, so I will buy more MATIC, right? Now, essentially, that does not mean that I'll just simply go all into this. No, guys. I'll have a proper equity distribution, and so should you if you are investing in these markets as well. All right, guys, now the last thing is Solarise.Finance for you. Now, this is a competition going on. This is a simple competition. Don't worry, this is fake money. This is not real money right here. But essentially, if you just go for that, if you just link your Twitter account and your Solana wallet in Solarise.Finance, you will be funded with free $50,000 that you can just simply go ahead and you can swap assets. You can just practice here, guys. Basically, this is a good practice, right? And the leaderboard is good right here. All right, let's just, yeah, this is the leaderboard right here. You can see people managing funds for like 50 million. Now, why is this right here, guys? Now, people can invest also. You can invest also. You will get $10,000 as your investor profile for free with your $50,000 as your capital management. Now, these things can help you develop your skill as a positional trader, as a let's just say a market participant who wants to take swing positions in the market in terms of any asset, guys. For example, Solana, for example, Ethereum, for Bitcoin, for anything, right? You basically get the unreal money to play around, and you can judge your own performance and you can judge your own emotions by this one, guys. Solarise.Finance, this is certainly nice. You do check this one out, and I think I'm going to be winding up this video right here, guys. This has been a long fucking chat. I thought I'll just end this video up in literally 5 minutes, but I think that cannot happen, unfortunately. I'll try to do my best next time, I guess. But until then, bye for now.